right now, I'm creating a 8K resolution video clips here from a roughly a 21 megapixel source JPEG image sequence, and this will give us, so when we dither down and release on 4K, because this movie release will actually be 4K, and when you go down from a very high pixel count, things look much better resolution wise than if you go up and you up res, as we call it, from a much lower, like say HD 1080p or 2K, which is 1440p, and go up to 4K or 6K or 8K. In this case, we're coming down from basically 21K down to 4K, so it's going to look just a wee bit better. So I'm importing right now image sequence. I'm creating editable image sequences here in Media Composer. I'll just give you a close-up here on the timeline so you can see what's actually going on. I don't know if you can see this. I'm importing. You see all in there in the browser, you see all those are little still JPEGs, and Media Composer knows that this is an image sequence, and it knows to create a movie at 23.976 frames per second, because it can see that they're very similar to each other, and they have ascending numbers at the end of their file names. So it goes, oh, this is an image sequence. This guy wants me to make this into a movie. So it has an algorithm that searches that out, and so that's kind of what's happening right now. So right now, it's as I do this now I can assemble basically a rough assembly, what we call the rough cut, the first rough cut of the movie, to see what we have, and I can tell more easily what more I need and what's missing and what should be there. And I already know that there's some stuff missing that's not in yet. For example, I've only got one nighttime shot done, and I might include it in the rough cut, but it may not make the final cut of the picture. But I have to go out and shoot a lot more nighttime stuff. But it's been cloudy every single night and raining off and on, and the problem with that is it blocks all the stars, so we can't see what's going on in the Milky Way or any of the real spectacular stuff that I want to shoot. So I'm hoping and praying for clear weather, because I don't have the picture yet. But I'll build something here on the timeline, so I'll show you piece by piece as we make this movie, and as I've been showing you all along. So we'll make this film together, and we'll see what we can see, and hope it turns out the way I envisioned it to, because I have an idea in my head to tell a story here. I'm going to show you some of the editing I'm doing here, and show you how a movie's put together. And I'm using Avid Media Composer, and I'm going to show you why so many professionals in the industry have standardized all post-production on this particular application, Avid Media Composer. It is a very robust, very mature, very superior, scalable and capable professional motion picture and television digital cinema editing application, digital content creation application like no other. Editing, as much as you may have heard or may have thought, is not about cutting. Editing is the artful assembly of a series of images to create a thought or an emotion in the mind of the viewer. There are many different kinds of editing. There is the kind of editing that I do the most, called continuity editing. That is editing that is invisible in form, but it serves in the flow and service of telling a story. And there is also a kind of editing that is very jump cutish, and it juxtaposes one thing against another. And that's a form of editing that one of the early Russian great filmmakers, Sergei Eisenstein, pioneered the type of juxtaposition editing, and it draws attention to itself with abrupt cuts to create an emotion or an idea. But by and large, the type of editing that you see today in 98% of everything you're watching on television, cable, on the internet, or in the cinema is all continuity editing. And that's the kind of editing that I specialize in doing. Now, I can do the other kind, but there are not that many projects or jobs or contracts that I will do for clients that require that kind of vigorous, aggressive editing style. But some music videos, for example, benefit greatly from the hard cut, jump cut, juxtaposition, Sergei Eisenstein style of editing. But that's normally not my thing. So let's begin. I'm going to show you Media Composer and the basic work that I'm doing, and give you an idea of how a picture is put together.